Hey, hey. Okay, so welcome to the Friendly Show. I am Lee. I am your, oh gosh, I did so good last week. So this is episode 92. Give me a chance. I will get it right. I am your host and friend, Lee. Okay, you guys. So it's a brand new month. I hope you guys are all doing super well. And if you're not, that's okay too. But I hope you have moments of happy all throughout your day. And today we are going to be doing a brand new series, brand new month, brand new series. And I've decided that what we're going to call this series is the discipline of happy. And the reason why is because so we have Happy School and we're in there and we're talking about all of our happy moments, the randomness of happiness, our habits that we're wanting to create around happy. And what I've been noticing, and it's people aren't complaining about their excuses. They're yes, I just rolled my eyes because we just had a conversation about, okay, do you want me to go in the puzzle room or are we good? And then, I don't know what they're doing. They're having a party over there. Um, but so people aren't complaining about their excuses, but I'm noticing that and we all do this because we're all human. There's somewhat of a lack of discipline that it's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to do it if I feel like it. Okay, well, I did really good for a couple days, but I was just really tired, or, oh, life happened, or whatever it is. And if now you don't have to, you can choose to live the life you want. But if you want to focus on your happy, you have to do just that. You have to focus on your happy. And the only way to do that is to be disciplined around it. And so if you're new to the show, when we talk about happy, we're talking about the framework that we use to find those moments in our day that we have control over. So what are those? Those are our health, our affection for ourselves, our purpose, our partnerships, and our youthfulness. Okay. We have complete control over all of those. Some people will say, oh, well, you don't know what my health is like. The thing is that you have control over the things you can do to improve or to hurt your health. Same thing with the affection for yourself, how you show yourself you love yourself. Same thing with stepping into your purpose and living a life that's aligned to the things that you want. Same thing with your partnerships. It doesn't matter what relationship you're in. It doesn't matter who's in front of you. You have control with how you handle it. And youthfulness, you have control about how much youthfulness you bring into your day. And so when we talk about discipline, we're talking about doing it anyway, doing it even though you don't feel like it, doing it even though it may be hard. But the things that you know that you want to do or that you feel like you need to do. Oh my gosh, you'd think there's 30 people in the room. I'm hoping that you guys can hear me and possibly that the microphone is helping, that maybe you guys can't hear all of the shenanigans happening over there. So we have control over all of these things, and the discipline is doing it anyway, stepping into all of those things, right? So, oh, there we go. Hello, hello. So Britt is on the show. Hey, Pops, how you doing? So glad you're here. And so that is what we're going to be talking about all month long. Today, specifically, we're going to talk about health and affection for ourselves. How do we show ourselves that we love ourselves? Okay. And we're going to look at the discipline of happy. Okay. And I wanted to talk to you guys. I made a couple notes because I was thinking, what's the thing that really gets in the way of us being disciplined about our happy? And something that I want to explain to you guys, and you may already know about it. You may have heard of this. And if you haven't heard of it, I know that you have felt it. And what it is it's called limbic friction. Okay. So and let me know in the comments if you've heard of limbic friction before, and you can go ahead and put your what you think it is or how you know it. But I made some notes to really drill down what it is so you can understand what's happening inside of your brain. So your brain is designed to protect you, right? That's what your brain is there for, right? It's there to protect you. And so there's different parts of your brain, and the limbic system inside of your brain is responsible for emotions, your survival instincts, and your immediate impulses. Okay. So things like, I want comfort right now, or oh, I just don't feel like it. That's all coming from your limbic, your emotional system. Okay. So there's that. That's working all the time. Then there's the frontal cortex. And what that does is that's the part of your brain that sets up your plans, it sets your goals, it makes logical decisions. Okay. So that's, I should go for a walk because I know it's good for me, right? I should go and I should eat more vegetables. I should. Logically, you know these things that you should be doing because they're good for you. You even want to do those things because they're good for you. And where limbic friction comes in is that there's resistance when you feel your logical brain, your frontal cortex, wants to do something because it's good for you, but your emotional brain, your limbic system, pushes back and says, no, 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 that's not going to be comfortable. No, 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 we don't like that. No, 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 that doesn't really feel safe. No, I think we're just going to stay here, right? So I know logically, I want to go for a walk in the morning. Limbic system says, it's a lot more comfortable just to lay in bed. Look how warm you are. It's actually cold outside. I don't think it's going to be a good idea to do that. Let's just stay here and hunker down a little bit longer. And that friction inside of your brain is what is called limbic friction. Okay. So it's actually your brain working for you. It's just they're working against each other and you have to start working, making it work for you. Okay. So when we're talking about habits and the discipline of doing the things that we want to do, the higher that limbic friction, the higher that tug of war, the harder it is to do something. Okay. And so that's why I'm saying you may not have heard the term before. You may not have heard the parts of the brain that are activated during this episode before, but I know a lot of you guys have felt it. I know what to do, but why can't I just do it? I know I got to go for a walk, but why did I stay in bed? I know I got to get up at 6 o'clock, but why did I hit the snooze alarm? This is why. Okay. So when that limbic friction is high, it's going to make it really hard for you to do things. Now, when we're making habits, like working out, like meditating, like going to bed earlier, this friction is why it feels hard, even though we know that we need to do it. But the good news is that every time that you push through that limbic friction, every time with discipline, self-affection, or by lowering that activation energy, the resistance actually gets weaker. So that's why your habits are able to be created and that it's actually easier to do that thing. So, when they talk about the 21 days, it's not 21 days. Okay. So it's not 21 days. It's not going to be like, okay, well, if I do this thing for 21 days, then I'm going to be able to do it forever and make it a habit. That's not what it is. You've got to rewire your brain in order for any of these habits to come into play and to actually become a habit. So for some people, it can be less than 21 days. For some people, you don't even realize when it is because you actually are building habits all the time that you need, but maybe you're not doing it intentionally. So we have a lot of bad habits, right, that we've created that weren't intentional. We weren't like, okay, I am going to hit the snooze alarm every single morning. I'm going to do it. And if I do it for 21 days, I'm going to be able to do it forever, right? But hitting the snooze alarm helps soothe our limbic system. And so there is a benefit to it. And then we slowly keep doing it. And then it feels good. And then we keep reinforcing it. And then it becomes a bad habit. We could do the exact same thing for our good habits. Okay. So the more that we're able to push through that limbic friction, knowing that it's not going to kill us, knowing that we're not going to get sick by pushing through that friction, knowing that we're actually going to be able to get on that other side of it, it weakens it. And then those small wins, when we start celebrating it and say, oh yeah, that felt really good. I did that. Okay. Reflection really helps. Then it makes the habits easier over time. Okay. So I'm going to go through just a couple things that we can do because we're going to be talking about this right now about health and affection for yourself, but also for all the rest of the pillars for the rest of the month. Okay. And the nice thing is I believe that this month we have 5 Wednesdays in the month. Yes, we do. So we'll be able to go a little bit deeper. And on that last month, we'll really be able, or that last week, we're going to be able to really kind of talk to each other inside the podcast about how we made out with these things that we're doing. Okay. I'm not going to ask you, so did your habits stick? What I want to find out is, how did it feel moving through and pushing through that limbic friction that we all have when we're trying something new, okay? And then when we're trying to create something for ourselves. So here's just 4 things that we can do that are able to kind of overcome that limbic friction, okay? So tangible things that you're able to do. The number one thing is starting small. So when we were talking about atomic habits, we read the book in book club. When we were talking about that, we were saying that there's a lot less friction when they're easy and small things to do, right? Keep it simple, keep it tiny. So if we want to start working out, the smallest thing that we can do is go for a 2-minute walk. The friction of that is not very high, right? Because you don't even have to go outside for that. You can just go out and say, I'm going to walk around my coffee table for 2 minutes, right? But you're telling your brain, okay, yeah, I know that it's not comfortable. I'm sitting in the chair. I want to stay here, but I can go do this. And you start doing it, getting up off the chair, going and doing the motion, and then keeping the promise you made to yourself all works hand in hand. And then you're able to gradually move up, move up, move up. And then before you know it, you're working out for 30 minutes a day. Excellent. But if you said right now, okay, in October, I'm going to do a 30-minute walk every single day, friction's high. Got to find 30 minutes that you never had before. You got to get up. You got to do the thing. There's a lot more friction. 2 minutes, all of us can do. So that's one, start small. The second one is stack your habits. So we've talked about this before. So tying this new habit, the thing that you want to do, with something that you already do. So an example of that might be stretching right before you brush your teeth. Okay. It's a habit. You get up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, and then maybe you brush your teeth or whatever your habit is, right? But if you brush your teeth first thing in the morning and you do it every single day, it's a habit. You don't even think about it. Like, you actually had to just think, when do I do it? Because it's just natural. Now you can say, okay, I want to start stretching in the morning. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as I'm going and getting the toothbrush, I'm going to stretch just in the bathroom, and I'm just going to do some stretches, lengthen out, stretch out. Okay. And then that's a trigger. Every single time you brush your teeth, you're going to stretch. And then that's good. Morning, night, stretch in the morning, stretch at night. It's excellent. So stacking your habits is a really great way to reduce that friction. The third one is self-affection over shame. Okay. So a lot of us, as we were like growing up, there was all this, I'm going to ground you. If you didn't do this, I'm going to do this. Always having shame around the things that you're not doing. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're weak. All of this kind of stuff. Does it really help? No. And naturally, we go to that because that's the way that we were raised. That's the way that we were like, punishment will get you to conform to do the things that you want to do. And so even me, I fall into that trap. I fall into like punishing myself for things. And then I remind myself the shame is not going to make me do it. And if it does, it's not going to make it feel good. It's not going to help my limbic system. My limbic system is going to be like, yeah, shit, this is really unsafe, right? I'm doing the thing, but it doesn't feel good at all. And so by having self-affection and telling yourself, okay, yeah, you know what? You didn't do exactly what you said you were going to do. Okay. It's okay. Let's try it again tomorrow. Okay. Treating yourself kindly as you're doing it, giving yourself that calmness around it, and talking to yourself the way that you would talk to your best friend, that will help. Shame makes the limbic friction worse. Compassion lowers it. That simple. Okay. And then number 4 is leverage your energy cycles. So figure out where you naturally have more energy, because in those times during the day, it's different for everybody, but for a lot of us, our energy is actually higher in the beginning of the day. So that's why morning workouts are really good for you, because your limbic friction will actually be less because you'll have more energy, right? So yeah, you might be tired. Yeah, you might want to hit the snooze, but if you get up and get into motion, it becomes a lot easier for you to be able to do it and push through that friction to be able to do what you need to do. If you're going to wait until the end of the day, right? And you're like, okay, I'm going to start doing, 10-minute walk, a 10-minute walk, and you wait until 10 o'clock at night when you're exhausted, the friction is much higher. So start when your energy is high. So do that morning movement, the sunlight, all those things in the morning. It will actually reduce the friction, not only for that movement, but it'll actually reduce the friction for all the rest of the things that you're going to do that day. So we're going to be talking about this when we're talking about purpose and partnerships and showing up for people and showing up for ourselves. If we can do that right in the morning, you're training your brain, hey, we do things that we need that are going to help us. And yeah, it might feel uncomfortable right now, but it's going to feel really good when we're done, right? Compassion and starting small is super important. So, really, the whole bottom line is that when we're saying, oh, I'm lazy, why can't I do this? It's actually not laziness. A lot of the time, it's just this limbic friction. It's our brain's wiring, and we just simply need to rewire it, right? And so, if we can layer discipline, and not discipline like conformity, not discipline like punishment, but discipline doing the things that we know we need to do, even when we don't want to do them, and we layer that with self kindness, that's how we're going to make these things stick. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's go on over, see if we have anybody that's here that's chatting. Oh, we do. Okay, excellent. As you guys know, I got to get away from the comments while I'm talking to you guys about all of that because I get too distracted. But here we are. Mel is here. Hey, lady, blue is your color. Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. That's like a comment that your husband would normally say. He always picks up on what I'm wearing. Mel says, happy fall. Oh, Mel, why didn't you say happy fall, y'all? Every time I hear that, I think of you. Okay, so happy fall. And sound guy is here. Hey, hey, hey. So looking back, I think I wired my brain early on to just do it, which helps me overcome a lot of those internal conflicts. Alarm clocks are sneaky though and immune to that particular wiring. Well, that's interesting. So you struggle with the snooze alarm too? That is really, really cool. So yeah, I think this is a really good point that our brain, we are able to train our brain. And there are certain people that have been able to have, well, not certain people, I think we've all had good habits ingrained in us in the very beginning. There's certain things that we're able to do. So, sound guy, I'm super, super happy that you have that just do it attitude. Was it because of Nike? Was that what it was? It was such a great campaign. um, but that's really, really important. And that just do it attitude. There's a gal that I follow, Layla Hermosi, if you guys have seen her. She has this thing, and it's so funny because she like her whole thing is F your mood and follow the plan. So in business, in working out, in anything that you're doing, get yourself a plan of these are the steps that I'm going to take. This is what I'm going to do for if it's in my business, if it's to lose weight, if it's to gain muscle, if it's to have a better relationship with my spouse, whatever it is. I don't care what your mood is, follow the plan. It's that simple. And so okay, so side note. So Pop says, one of my problems is I want to walk the dogs, but by the time I talk myself into it, it's too hot for their feet. Get them boots. Talk yourself into it quicker. That's the answer there. And looking at that and just saying, okay, because here's the whole thing is that so you get that friction is there that you want to do it, but you're not doing it. Just do it anyway, right? Start small. Say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take the dogs out. Maybe you're going to start taking the dogs out at night once it starts cooling down. And you start there. And then you'll be able to say, okay, no, I want to start doing it in the morning. And then you can start in the morning. Start somewhere. Start sloppy. That's what Mel used to always say. Is that what I think that's what you said? Mel, did you have a shirt the first time that I met you when I went to Texas? Did you have a shirt that said start sloppy? I'm trying to remember. I think so. So yeah, that's the whole thing. And that's one of the biggest problems, Pops, is that Mel says, yes, you did have a shirt. Okay. So that's one of the things. Like we have to talk ourselves into doing these things. And if we could just do it, you get it done so much quicker. So an example is this morning. This morning, I was not looking forward to working out at all, at all. And I want to get back into walking in the mornings, but I haven't done it I did it randomly in the last couple months, but I was getting out of the habit of doing it in the mornings because I was just my nights were too late, and then I wasn't sleeping, and blah blah blah. Excuse after excuse. There's really no excuse. Anyway, this morning, I was not feeling it and I wasn't going to do it. And then I thought, you know what? Go for 15 minutes. You don't have to go for an hour, go for 15 minutes. It's way better than not doing anything. And so while I was out, sun's out, there's a little bit of a breeze. It felt amazing. I only did 15 minutes. This is what I told myself I was going to do. And I didn't have the time to do any more. But then I did pick up my speed a little bit more. It felt really good. And when I came back, it felt amazing because I got the sun, because I got the movement, because I got all that. But on top of it, I kept my promise to myself. And then when I came in, I was like, you know what? I have a little bit more time. And so I did a strength training workout because I told a friend in Happy School that I'm going to start training. And I was like, I'm going to do it 3 days a week. And I'm going to start on Wednesday because I want to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I said I'm going to start October 1st on Wednesday. And so it's all those little things, just doing it anyway. So let us know, Pops, how you're going to make out with that, okay? So I did ask our dear friend ChatGPT. So let me look that up. Where did I put that? And I asked him for some questions, some thoughtful questions about the topic. And so let's see what he came up with. And the reason, if you're new to the show, why I let ChatGPT do it is because I want to answer the questions too. I want to learn about, you know, you, and I want to learn about me. So let's do this. So here is, actually, can I do all three? I'm just going to do these first three right here. When, if, and think. And I'm going to put this right in here. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say 1. Oh, this is so good. Britt, you're not going to have to do it. I figured it out. And 3. So I guess maybe next week I should do this in advance before the show so then I don't have to be talking like this with you guys. But here we go. So hold on, there is a comment here. Oh, I see. No, those are all comments for me. So a little bit messy, but that's okay. So here are the questions. I should have done one at a time, but I didn't. So here it is. Number 1, when you think about your health right now, what is one small habit you know would make a big difference, but you've been resisting? What's the limbic friction for you? Okay, that's awesome. Number 2 is if you stopped waiting for motivation and simply relied on discipline and self-love, what would change in your daily routine tomorrow? And 3, those are kind of similar, but not exactly. And 3, hold on one second. What is number 3? Because I can't read it on the screen because it's too little for my eyes. Okay. Which, by the way, you guys, I'm getting new glasses. I'm super excited. So say goodbye to these glasses. And why I'm really excited to say goodbye to these glasses, not so much that I like the shape and the look of them. They're fine. Not my prescription. So that's why I can't read it on the screen. I always have to look over here. Anyway, that's a side note, but I'm hoping that they'll be here for the next show. So number 3 is think about how you talk to yourself when you fail at a habit. If you spoke to a friend that way, how would it affect your relationship? Ooh, I like that question. I like that question a lot because we always talk about, speak to yourself the way that you would to a friend. But I like this kind of twist on it. If you actually spoke to your friend the way that you're speaking to yourself, how would that affect your relationship with that friend? Okay, awesome. So the first question was, when you think about your health right now, what is the one small habit that you would make that would make a big difference, and what is your limbic friction? Okay, so I think we had an answer here. So Pop says number 1 would be quitting smoking. Okay, so Pops, maybe go through this podcast again, like rewind it, watch the replay or whatever. I don't know if we have replays in Twitch, but if we don't, you can go over to YouTube. They're there all the time. And I actually made a section that's the podcast. So it's all of the episodes are there. go ahead and do that and go through the things that we were just talking about, starting small, and see how maybe if you think that quitting smoking would be your thing, how you're going to be able to use those this month. And maybe this is the month that you quit. Sound Guy says, I can't help but think of the book, Don't Shoot the Dog. 1, timely positive reinforcement is critical to conditioning, building a habit. 2, secondary reinforcement, brush teeth and stretch. Oh, really? Okay. And you know what? All of that stuff too was Atomic Habits. There was a lot of things in there. The whole thing is that a lot of, like, when we're talking about habit making, there's probably like 15,000 different books that come at it different ways. All of our brains are basically the same, right? Especially when we're talking about the limbic system. Like, unless you've had injury, unless you've had, there are issues that alter our brain, but in general, habit formation is the same for all of us, right? We can pretend that it's not, but it is. Our little nuances of the habits that we want to create, what we're going to connect them to, how long it might take, those are all nuances that are going to change from me to you, but the way that it works is all the same. And so we don't need to fancy this whole thing up and say, like, how am I going to figure this out? You're going to figure it out because you're going to figure out the best ways to make yourself feel the safest doing the things that you want to do to get to where you want to go. That's simple. That's simple, really. And it's simple. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And so that's why we have these conversations. That's why over at Happy School, we're having these conversations. So I really, really hope that you come over to Happy School. It's a free community. We will have paid things that you're going to be able to participate in if you want to go deeper, but at least be there for the free community where you're going to be able to have these conversations throughout the week. So day to day, you're able to say, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is where I'm struggling. Now we're going to be able to talk about limbic friction, and we're going to be able to say, okay, this is the thing that I need a little bit of help with, or even just saying it, even posting it makes it feel like, oh, wow, okay, it's actually not as scary as I thought it was, right? Mel says for number 1, it was walking during my lunch. Okay, awesome. So number 2, oh, let me put that up there. Walking through my lunch. Why isn't it coming up? Oh, you guys, technology. I don't know. This is bogus. Mel, I see your comment. There it is. Okay, so number 2, the second question was, let me just go up here. If you stopped waiting for motivation and simply relied, bless you, and simply relied on discipline and self-love, combining those two, discipline and compassion, what would change in your daily routine tomorrow? And so Pop says, the thing that would change would be the way that I view myself. That's amazing. Okay, that's awesome. Exactly. And the way that you view yourself, the identity that you start creating for yourself, you'll be able to lean in more to the things that you want to do. That's awesome. Mel says for number 2, tomorrow, not wanting to punch a parent. Actually, not hitting the snooze button. Okay, that's excellent. Okay, that's awesome. So if you stopped waiting for motivation and simply relied on discipline, what would change in your daily routine tomorrow? You would just not hit the snooze button. Yes. Mel Robbins, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this one, but Mel Robbins does this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the same thing that they do when they do the rocket launches and all that kind of thing. The way that your brain works, if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because your brain knows that the next number is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't actually work the same way that counting down does. But if you count down 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then your body and your mind knows that, oh, when I get to 1, that's it. There's nowhere else to go. And so when you get up, if you go to hit the snooze alarm, instead of doing that, just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get yourself up. And you don't have to get your feet on the ground. You don't have to get walking. Just get yourself seated up in your bed. And that's the first step of breaking that friction and getting into movement or motion of what you want to do. So Mel, go ahead and do that and then tell me what you think. And so number 3 was, think about how you talk to yourself when you fail at a habit. And if you spoke to a friend that way, how would it affect your relationship? That's such a good one. I absolutely love that one. So Mel said, oh, wait, let me go up here because they're all popping down. Mel says, I would lose my friend. Absolutely. And that right there, that's a perfect answer. And that's right there is why we quote unquote lose ourselves, right? We lose ourselves because we stop keeping our promises to ourselves. We stop speaking kindly to ourselves. We stop doing the things that we need. We stop showing up for ourselves. And so when all those things happen, we lose the friend. And so we're losing ourselves because we're not staying true to ourselves. So that's an awesome, awesome answer, Mel. And then sound guys, so for number 1, prioritize healthy sleep habits. Number 2, I would go to sleep by 9:30 and be up by 5:30. Okay, awesome. And then I would work out first thing, have energy and focus for the day. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And like that would drastically change. And like I don't know what your sleep habits are. Obviously, they can use some improvement. So I don't know exactly where you are. However, just that, it's pretty simple. Is it easy? No, it's not. But it's pretty simple. And if you can just make this plan that you just wrote out and just do it, it starts right now when you're ready to go to bed. Knowing that I'm going to go to bed at 9:30, it means that I have to start getting bed ready earlier, right? Um, and so just making that plan and just doing it the first time when it's uncomfortable, right? And just keep doing it, it will drastically improve your day. That is so awesome. I really hope that you focus on that one. Mel says, Mel Robbins, I forgot about that. Good reminder. Yes, excellent. Okay, so you guys, here we are. We're pretty much at the end. Did I answer the questions? I don't think I did. So when I think about health right now, what's the one small habit that I know would make a big difference, but I've been resisting? What's my limbic friction for me? Oh, yeah. Okay. So a million of them go through my head because the ones that I know is that I need to do exactly what Sound Guy just said. I need to start cleaning up my sleep. I was really in a great routine and then I wasn't. And so I need to get back to that. I also know I need to do my water. I also knew I needed to do my movement. But I will tell you, one of the things that I really resist is eating healthy. That is the thing that is going to be the big game changer for me because that's going to be, I have a lot more friction when it comes to that than it does with my water, than it does with my sleep, than it does with my movement, because all those I'm pretty good at. I'm sloppy in it right now, but I'm pretty good at them. So I don't have as much friction. But the eating healthy, I have a lot of friction because there's a lot of shit around me all day long that I just want to keep going and grabbing and little nibbles, nibbles, nibbles. And when I cleaned up today, I really cleaned up my eating and it felt good because it was uncomfortable and I could keep seeing myself doing the things that I need to do. And it kept reminding myself, I'm doing this for my future self. Good job. You can do this. And it felt good. It makes other things easier. So that would be the thing for me. That's the big limbic friction that I have inside of there. And so that's what I'm working on this month. Plus the other ones, but those will all kind of snowball off of this one. Number 2, if you stopped waiting for motivation and simply relied on discipline and self-love, what would change in your daily routine tomorrow? The food. Absolutely the food. And I have a lot of things going on that I think stress eating is okay. And it's like, oh no, it's just comfy. It's not, because what am I doing to myself, right? I've gained so much weight and I'm feeling a lot more lethargic. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. I don't want any of that stuff. So that is the thing for me. I'm just going to stop waiting for motivation. I'm just going to like do the thing, right? And then the last one is think about how you talk to yourself when you fail at a habit. If you spoke to a friend that way, how would it affect your relationship? Well, I'll tell you. So yes, I agree with Mel. I would totally lose that friend and I get that. I'm actually getting really good at when I'm failing. Once I go and I start saying things, because my thing was I'm stupid, right? That's the one that I would always go to. And it's like, oh, that's so stupid. But I clean them up now. So I still say it sometimes, but when I say it, I immediately catch it and then I change it. And so even if I'll just be like, oh, that was silly. Still not great, but it was like that was just a silly thing. I wasn't even thinking. Those are true. That's like the silly isn't, but I was not thinking in that moment. And that's why I did the thing that I did, right? That's why I failed. Or I didn't step up well enough. I didn't have enough discipline. Um, and so I've been reframing things with what the actual truth is for me. And that's another reason why this discipline came into be, because it's like I have not been disciplined with my happy the way that I want to. And I know the benefit of it. I know how much it's helped me, especially this year and everything that I've been doing. And so The discipline, I think, is going to be a game changer, especially right now in October as we're going into the end of the year. We're going to have this fall energy. I think that the discipline of happy is going to be really, really cool. I'm really, really looking forward to working on this with you guys all throughout the month. Next week, we're going to be talking about purpose. And I hope you bring a friend. I really hope you do. And I hope that if you are enjoying this show, I hope that you click the subscribe button. I know that sounds silly, but I really want this to be getting out to so many people because I know people need it. And so I would really like for you to be able to share this. And even if you don't want to share it, if it's something, just an extra thing that you've got to do, just right now, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe. I would absolutely love that. So then YouTube knows that this is an important show. So let me go see if there are any other things here. Oh, there is. So Sound Guy says, we wouldn't be our own friend and we lose ourselves like we would lose our friend. This is an awesome way to frame it, and it is sticking with me. Thank you. I love you. I am so happy that that worked out for you. And I'm so glad that you guys are here. Again, it was an amazing show. I hope to see you over at Happy School. And it is school. Oh, right here. Sorry. There we go. It is school with a K, SKOOL.com/Happy School, SCHOOL. And I hope to see you over there. And I will see you definitely next week. Oh, if you go over there tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we are doing like a happy hour kind of thing, a happy hangout. So come on over there and then I'll be able to see you and see what you guys look like and sound like. It would be so amazing. I love you, love you, love you. Have a wonderful day. Make it a happy and healthy one. Bye.